Airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
It's time for Tip-Off Tuesday.
They're really good people, and the chemistry's great, very coachable, they work hard.
Shelstad left wing three. Yes, sir! What a catch and a finish, plus the foul.
The guys are playing hard, and guys found a way, so it's a big part of any season, just fighting away.
Pass underneath to Coussnard, he's fouled and one. Gray wants another three, are you kidding?
So let's go have some fun, let's play loose and see what happens.
This is Tip-Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Today's broadcast is also brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks! Drink Pepsi. Let's talk Oregon Duck basketball. From the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
Final tip-off Tuesday of the season. That's right. We are officially into postseason now as Oregon women's basketball tips off tomorrow. The Ducks will play Colorado in the Pac-12 Tournament. Oregon women's basketball on the road in Las Vegas. 11:30 pregame show with Chris Clayton. And on today's show, Kelly Graves and Peyton Scott, who will return for another year with the Ducks. She sat down in Las Vegas with Chris Clayton today. We've got those interviews for you on the horizon as postseason basketball is officially here. Now, on the men's side, final regular season games. Colorado, 6 o'clock on Thursday, 5:30 pregame with me here on the Oregon Sports Network, and then 4 o'clock senior day against Utah on Saturday. Ducks are on the bubble. You win these two games, the Ducks would be the 3 seed, would finish third in the Pac-12, heading to Las Vegas next week. You got a chance, if you win these two games at home, to get into the NCAA tournament without having to win the whole thing in Las Vegas. At least that's just me saying that. Now we'll see what happens moving forward. On today's show, Dana Altman, Oregon men's basketball head coach, and N'Faly Dante. Tremendous conversation about his journey to Oregon, his time here at Oregon. Got a chance to celebrate a guy who, man, if it wasn't for those injuries, imagine where he would be right now. But we all got to know him a little bit better because he's probably here at Oregon a little bit longer than if he had been true full health. And he's been through a lot in his life and in his career. Going to celebrate N'Faly Dante here on this show. A very quick opening segment because we've got a ton of interviews for you, so stick with us. It's Tip-Off Tuesday presented by Toyota. Coach Altman joins us next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Look, we totally get it. You'd rather not be listening to an ad right now. But if you have to, a mini ad is better. Maybe even a Pepsi mini ad. Still all the flavor of the full-size thing, just minier. The way ads should be. Like this one. Pepsi Minis. That's what I like.
Pepsi is proudly distributed by locally owned Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks, drink Pepsi.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Oregon Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FUBOTV.com.
You're listening to Tip-Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Back on Tip-Off Tuesday, presented by Toyota. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Head coach Dane Altman is here with us. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the season as a whole. I like to start generally when you come into the coach's show and here in the studio. Just check in on the season for fans. Where do you guys think you're at right now?
Well, it's been a lot of ups and downs and twists and turns. We start the season, with Nate and Dante, Jesse, Jermaine, and Key. Yeah. Three of those guys, aren't even playing now, right. So it's been a lot of ups and downs, and Dante out for, 14, 15 games there, and, we just haven't really hit our stride. I think Jermaine's the only guy that has started every game and been there for us. He's done a tremendous job. But, the guys have battled through it. Our depth hasn't been what we'd like, so some of our defenses, our presses and that just haven't had the bite to them that we've had in the past, and I think that slowed our defense a little bit. But we've got a critical stretch coming up here. We've got opportunities, two teams that are supposed to be in the tournament, Utah and Colorado coming in, and then a tournament down in Vegas where we've had some success. So we just got to swing away, and the 8 guys and Gabe and James got to stay ready. Those guys got to get ready to go.
It's been a topic for you and I, for everybody throughout the course of the season. I feel like you could still hit your stride too, right? I mean, as things settle into a rhythm here.
Oh, absolutely. No, confidence is always one shot away.
Yeah, that's right.
Those guys, confidence kind of goes up with whether the ball's going in or not. And so, no, we've got the pieces. We're going to have a break or two just because of our depth. But, no, we've got the pieces. We can make this happen. And guys are going to have to really battle down the stretch. We're going to have to rebound the ball and defend, which takes a lot of energy. And so those guys, we're resting them as much as we can in practice, not going real long, but trying to go game-like so we can get ready to go.
We talked post-game about Jermaine, Coach, a career high in points at Arizona. And I know you touched on that his defense was a lot better in the second half, too. After you watched the film, what a performance from Jermaine, I'd imagine.
Well, it's one of those things when the ball starts going in and that energy level goes way up. And he did have a heck of a second half. And the guys kept feeding him. And Dante set some great picks for him to get him open. But the guys got it to him when he was open, and he finished. He hit some tough shots and really hit some good shots. We got it down to 15, which, we weren't in the game. And we get it to 15. We have a chance to get it under 10, and we just had a couple bad, defensive possessions. And, again, they're a very good team. I don't want to take anything away from them, but we weren't sharp defensively, and they got on a roll and hit a lot of threes, 14 to 25 from 3, and that usually will do you in.
I feel like there's been a few times this season, too, Coach, where you and I have talked about how, 1-2 possessions over the course of a game can flip things. I know that's happened a few times this year, I feel like.
No, it's a fragile game. And, a guy gets a couple down, and it can change how he looks at himself, and it can get things going. So, yeah, no, it's not an exact science. A foul here or there that gets a guy in foul trouble, makes him less aggressive. A couple threes go down and the guy thinks he can shoot it. Really makes a big difference in a ball game.
Now this week, you mentioned the critical stretch. We'll talk a little bit about Colorado, Utah coming up. But, Coach, it's senior weekend. A little bittersweet, I know, always senior weekend. And it's different in college basketball today than it was, I don't know, maybe at any point in college basketball. But get a chance to celebrate some seniors this weekend. Big deal.
Absolutely. No, we've got a good crew, and those guys have done a lot for our program. So, yeah, it's always tough. Senior day is always an emotional day, and hopefully our guys will be able to handle that and play well.
Some of the folks that will be honored, I want to talk about the team behind the team a little bit, Coach. Just a chance for you to talk about the student managers, what they do for your team.
No, our student managers are selfless. They work their tails off and are there for the guys when they want to get shots up, doing all the laundry, taking care of everything. They're there a lot of hours, and we've always had a good group. These guys love the game and do a great job.
Gabe Reichel, let's start there as we go through the seniors that'll be honored this weekend. I know he's meant a lot to this program.
Oh, absolutely. Gabe's given his all, and he's all about the team. There's no selfishness at all to Gabe. He's been great every day in practice. He knows the scouting report. He's ready every game. He's done a great job, and he's got an accounting degree, and I'm sure he's going to be very successul.
Yeah. Kerry Oquindo going to go through the senior day ceremony.
Yeah, Kerry came to us from Georgia, and was a little up and down for us, but has done a great job, handled himself really well, and really explosive. We need him to be really explosive here down the stretch.
Keyshawn Barthélemy, Coach, I know we've talked about this before, just was really settling in, it felt like, to a role, and he's going to go through things, and I imagine he's just going to be frustrated he couldn't finish out the season a little bit more.
Well, he was, just starting to play really well there, and I was watching the Colorado game, getting ready for the game. He played really well there, got us back in the game, and took a lead in the second half, and he was a big part of that. So, and it's really hurt our depth. He and Jackson together, were really giving us some quickness, and he was making shots for Jackson, which, Jackson's a pretty good shooter. Without the ball in his hands, guys, Key was doing a good job of making shots for guys. So we do miss Key and, that darn ankle, but he'll bounce back from that.
Mo Diawara has meant an awful lot, I know.
Yeah, with Dante going down, Mo played a significant role there for a long time, and with Dante back, his role's not quite the same, but no, Mo's been a wonderful team member, has done a great job.
How about Jermaine Couisnard, Coach? In the 2 years that he's been with you, made an impact, I think.
Oh, absolutely. He had the knee surgery to start last year, which really slowed him down. He didn't start playing until January, but he did have an impact then when he joined the team in January. And then he's been healthy this year and has really done a good job for us. And I probably play him a few too many minutes. He loses his focus every now and then. And but when you're out there 36, 37 minutes and playing hard, sometimes it's hard to keep that focus.
And then N'Faly Dante.
Bill, the big fella's done a great job. I know he's been banged up a lot over his career, and I really feel bad for him in that regard. The ACL and coming back from that, and then surgery again this year. But he's meant the world to our program. He's a great kid and really unselfish. He's going to be really missed.
Final 2 home games here coming up. Still a lot to play for. I know you've mentioned that to the team quite a bit here.
Oh, absolutely. We're still in the hunt. I know it's a long shot, but we got, like I said, 2 teams in the net coming in the 30s, which gives us great opportunity to improve ours. And then, if we take care of business, we're going to be in the top 4. And get in the top 4, we got to play 3 games, and we got to find a way. So, no, this is really big weekend. Both Colorado and Utah need to win to ensure themselves getting in.
Yep.
And so they're going to be jacked and ready to go, and we got to give ourselves that opportunity by winning. So very competitive games, and our guys really going to have to get ready. I hope our crowd's ready because we're going to need all the support we can get.
What's your assessment of the conference right now, Coach, heading down the stretch into March? What do you see from the league?
Well, I think it's underrated because I think the teams have really gotten better. Arizona's got the most talent and they're set. Colorado, if you look at mock drafts, they got 3 draft choices in there, so their talent level's pretty good. Washington State is old and really have played well together. And so, no, I think teams have played well. Utah's right there. So those are the 4 teams everybody's talking about getting in, and then we're the 5th. So, we've got a battle. But, the thing that has impressed me is that, like USC, down and out, but now Collier's back and they're playing really good. Washington's really playing. They hung in there and really playing well. UCLA, any given night, is going to give people problems. Same way with Arizona State. Yeah. So, again, a lot of things can happen in the tournament. Oregon State still battling their tail off. Wayne's done a tremendous job. So, everybody's going to have to be ready to go. And Cal, those guys, a bunch of seniors there. You talk about an old team. Cal's older than most NBA teams. So, it's going to be an interesting tournament.
Colorado, the last time you played them, you mentioned you watched that game. Some takeaways heading into the second matchup.
Well, we got off to, we didn't play well the first half, but then we took the lead with about 9 minutes to go, and then just had some bad offensive possessions. And so, again, we're going to have to play really well. Again, a very talented team. They're talking about Cody Williams maybe being the first player taken in the draft, KJ Simpson's in the first round, De Silva in the second, whatever. They've got some very talented players. And their role players have been there forever. O'Brien, I don't know what year he's in, but seems like he's been there 6 or 7 years. And so even their role players are old and been there, and Hadley's doing a great job this year. So, again, with the exception of Williams, just an old team that has played very well and played well together.
How can the crowd help you here this week?
Well, it's going to be an emotional weekend for our seniors anyway, but, the crowd, we've only dropped 2 games here, and in both games we had our opportunities. We just didn't take advantage of them. This is a home court sport, and we got to make darn sure we take care of home court this weekend.
Keys to success, sum it up for us here down the stretch.
Well, we're going to have to guard better. We both teams, Colorado and Utah, are very good offensively, and we can't get into a shooting match with them. We're going to have to guard them. Rebounding will be important. And then offensively, we're going to have to hit shots. We had some really good looks early in that Arizona game that we didn't hit, that we needed to just stay right there and stay in the game. But we had 4 or 5 wide open threes we didn't hit. We missed some at the rim. And those are things you can't do against a team that is shooting it as well as Arizona was. So both these teams are very good offensively, Colorado and Utah. So we're going to have to match their offensive output by hitting some shots.
Well, Coach, here's to a long run throughout the rest of this month. I always appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, no problem. Thanks again.
All right, we're going to get a timeout when we come back. Switching gears, going to Kelly Graves on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Imagine all the fun you can have this spring break in a new Toyota. Woo-hoo! I'm having fun, and I'm not even there.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends April 1st.
Wherever you are in life, once a duck, always a duck. And that's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has helped the University of Oregon community take flight financially with great rates, lower fees, nationwide ATM access, and mobile banking. Earn more interest with remarkable checking, and show your duck devotion with a duck debit card. If you're a duck, you belong at OCCU. Go Ducks. Join OCCU. Learn more at myoccu.org/getduckdebit. Insured by NCUA.
Imagine all the fun you can have this spring break in a new Toyota. Woo-hoo! I'm having fun, and I'm not even there.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends April 1st.
You're listening to Tip Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back on Tip Off Tuesday, presented by Toyota. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial Studio. Earlier this week, yesterday actually, Chris Clayton sat down with Kelly Graves before traveling out to Las Vegas. 11:30 pregame show on Wednesday. Ducks facing Colorado with a noon tip-off in the Pac-12 Tournament. Chris Clayton, KG.
Thanks for coming in all year long. Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to see you guys over here.
And we are coming off the matchups with Cal and Stanford last weekend. It was senior day, a nice ceremony, and really good effort against one of the best teams in the country. Cut it to 10 in the second half. What stood out to you from the Stanford game in this weekend overall?
Well, I thought overall this weekend we played really hard. I thought we played with some energy, some focus, intensity, urgency. We had some, good individual performances as well along the way. But, the Cal game is one that, we just didn't execute all that well down the stretch. Took a couple questionable shots and kind of a poor drive. And then the defense let us down. And then against Stanford, we had moments, when you say you cut it to 10, that's, that's tough. Cut it to 10, and that's a success. That's just kind of where we're at. And but they're a really good team. There's no question about that. That was going to be a tough game to win anyway. But I went away, certainly disappointed from the weekend, but also encouraged. Our kids, despite where we're at in the standings, they haven't quit. They continue to play hard. And in fact, I think we're playing harder now than we did at certain times during conference play.
And those three seniors that were honored, Bella Hamill, Ula Chamberlain, and Kennedy Williams, what have they, they've kind of been here a short amount of time, all of them just 1 year. What have they meant to the team this season?
Well, they're all really good teammates. They're all really good kids. They're great young women and, with bright futures ahead of them. I think they all have different things that they want to go into. But it was nice to see, and one thing I do want to mention about the weekend, I thought our crowd was great.
Yeah.
Listen, we haven't given them a whole lot to cheer for. But they came out this weekend and were really loud, and it was nice that they honored those three seniors the way they did by, staying to the end. I wish them the best, and I'm thankful for what they've done, for the program and for coming here and taking a chance on us. And, they'll always be remembered fondly for sure.
Yeah, and shout out to the Duck fans for their support, and classy move by you and the fans to honor the Stanford seniors and Tara Vanderveer for her incredible accomplishment this year as the winningest coach ever.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, she's been in Stanford 38 years, so she's been coming up here a lot, and they've had great teams, and she's the all-time winningest coach in history, and so yeah, I think she deserves it. Unfortunately, it probably will be the last time Stanford's up here for a while. I mean, Tara and I are friends, and we may schedule each other, but more than likely not, at least for a few years. So, an era ends, unfortunately.
And now it's the postseason. It's Pac-12 Tournament, maybe the WNIT ahead, but the focus right now, the Colorado game on Wednesday. For you as a coach, is there a different approach you take to the postseason, whether it's in-game execution or how you prepare, or is that dangerous? Do you try to keep everything the same?
Well, a little of both. I mean, you do have to up it because it is postseason. I always look at the season in in terms of threes, right? You have the preseason, the non-league games, then you have conference play, and then you have postseason. So each time you kind of get a do-over, you start 0-0, and listen, we're obviously a long shot to go in and even win one or two games, but I've been coaching a long time, and I've seen everything, over the years, and it wouldn't surprise me if we go down and play great and win some games. To win 4. That's going to be difficult, but you never know. That's the great thing about postseason. So, we had a really good practice this morning. We leave, I guess we're taping this on Monday because we got to go.
Yeah.
And then we'll be down in Vegas tonight and ready to go. We've got nothing to lose.
Yeah. 12 seeds have won before in this Pac-12 tournament. And it's a Colorado team you know really well. What is really important to trying to beat the Buffaloes this time around on attempt 3?
Well, I think with us, at their place, it was transition defense. We were just awful getting back, and they scored way too many points out of transition. I think the other thing was points off turnovers. That's been a theme all year long, but in both games that hurt us against them. They're struggling too. They've lost 5 out of 6. Now, a lot of those they're all close. But, they're starting to question themselves a little bit, too. So I think we might be coming in at the right time. Who knows, And we've had some players, really step up and play well. I've been really proud of Grace, this year. She just plays her tail off. It doesn't matter if we're up 20 or down 20. She just plays her butt off and has had a really, really nice year. Philly, obviously, I think that she ended up leading the conference in rebounding.
She did, yeah. She beat Brink by 0.1.
Point one.
Brink came in hot there at the end.
She did. And good on Philly, and she may win the conference most improved player. She should. I know a couple coaches that gave her their first place votes. And, Chance has kind of been up and down, but Chance overall has had a pretty nice season playing out of position. We've never been fully healthy. We've never played with the team that we thought. Sophia had been really, really good for us until she goes down early in Pac-12 play. And, Kennedy Basham's really improved toward the end. But, having missed Scotty all year, that really hurt us. We needed her toughness, her point guard ability, and her ability also to score. We just, in the end, offensively, it's been a challenge for us. Defensively, we've been okay, but offensively, we've just really been hampered all year.
Well, you mentioned Peyton Scott last week. It was announced that she's trying to come back next year. Will almost certainly get that medical hardship waiver and be able to come back after she tore her ACL 4 minutes into the season. But what has she meant to the team in this year where she's not been able to play?
Yeah, that's always tough. She's had a year like this before. She did her knee another time, but she's a coach. I mean, she wants to be a coach, I believe, and she just she thinks the game. She has the ear of the players, maybe even more so than we do. They listen to her, they respect her. She always has great things to say, great perspective. She's tough. She hasn't always been pleased with what she's seeing out there on the court, but it's going to be great to have her back. Yeah. I mean, it really is. And by the way, I want to mention I went up after the game on Saturday and watched Katie Fiso win her 4th straight state championship. Never been done in the state of Washington at Garfield High School, and that's the big school classification. She was outstanding.
Yeah.
She's going to be a perfect fit for us, a true point guard who just absolutely controls the game, controls the tempo, controls every possession, and like she's done pretty much every game. She had 29. And
I saw a highlight. There was less than a minute left, and she hit a clutch 3 off the dribble.
Hit 2 late threes in a tight ball game to win that, and so she's a winner, and I think she's going to be a real important player for us.
That's real exciting. If you as we start to talk a little bit about next year, and this season's not over yet, of course, you could still have the Pac-12 tournament, maybe even another postseason tournament.
It's okay to talk about next year because we don't have another show. So
yes, there you go.
Yeah, so we can touch all bases.
What is your approach to this offseason, and what are you looking forward to for next year?
Yeah, well, number one, we got to keep the core of our team. I look at other, I was watching the South Carolina men the other day. They took 12th place or last place in the SEC last year, and now they're competing. They're one game out of first place this year. So you can make that turnaround. Look at Oregon State. They were like 13-19 last year, and I think took 10th or 11th, and now look at them. They're a top 10 team. So we need to keep this band together. But and I think with the 2 freshmen we have coming in, with Peyton coming back, with Sophia coming back, I still think we need to go and be aggressive in the portal with 3 or 4 players, a couple of dead eyes at least, and maybe just a couple of athletes, where we can just do more things defensively. I think that'll really help. So I'm hoping that the team looks similar this year, but also at the same time we'll have an infusion of new players as well. So I want our fans to stay encouraged. We've kind of gone from the top to the bottom. But we started when we got here at the bottom, and we built it to the top, and I'm confident that we can do that again. It just takes, hard effort by our coaches to get out and recruit and recruit the right players.
Yeah, could be some new faces this year, which is really exciting, and hopefully that young talent foundation comes back next year. So thanks for your time. Good luck in Vegas. Everybody will be watching. It's on Pac-12 Network and here on OSN. Good luck against Colorado.
All right. Thanks. Go Ducks.
KG presented by Toyota here on Tip-Off Tuesday, talking with Chris Clayton. Quick timeout when we come back to the men's side. We are going to hear from Peyton Scott, but first, N'Faly Dante, my conversation with the big fella on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Introducing Lem and Lime for Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Hey.
Hello. What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
One of you must be a little more important than the other.
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
That doesn't sound right.
I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip? Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Pepsi is proudly distributed by locally owned Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks, drink Pepsi.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Oregon Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FUBOTV.com.
Your home for Oregon hoops. This is Duck Basketball from Learfield.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We're back on Tip-Off Tuesday, presented by Toyota. So a returner to the studio, N'Faly Dante is here, folks. Dante, that means you don't have to tell your 2-minute life story. You remember having to do that?
What?
Your 2-minute life story. You had to go through, tell us a little bit about yourself the first time you were in here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I got to tell you, and I didn't think that this would happen. Jackson Shellstad did it in 1:58. It's the closest we've ever had for a basketball player.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't know Jackson could do that.
Me neither. I didn't know that you take 18, 19 years and you fill up 2 minutes. So there you go. Anyway, Dante's here. Look, Dante, I know that this is a big week. It's the last Tip-Off Tuesday for us. That's why I wanted to have you come on. Talk a little bit about your career. Talk a little bit about what's next for you. But first, the fit today, Dante, is next level.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Everybody who's watching the show, look at the Letterman's jacket. I mean, You thought about this today, didn't you? You knew you were going to be on camera.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. And then I want to just thank my guy, Jackson, get us those. So it was great.
That's awesome. So let's go back in time to young Dante. When did you first fall in love with basketball? Like, when were you like, you know what? I could do this. I could play this during my life.
Oh, I think I was about 12 or 13.
Okay.
Back home in Mali. So, like I said, my sister used to play. So she used to have a basketball at home. So I just took in and dribble and stuff. And one day I was like, you know what? I think I'm a really good player. And I decided to start playing a little bit. And the first day I did not like it because I got hurt.
Really?
Hurt, you know.
Yeah,
so
right.
my mom sent me back and then kept doing it, you know. But it was great.
How tall were you when you started playing when you were like 12?
Probably like 6'3".
Oh my goodness! You like so how much did that? Truthfully, like how much did that factor in? Like you were like, you know what? I've got the body for this.
Oh yeah, I was really tall and then skinny, and then like the dude who was coaching me back home thought I could be a point guard.
Really?
Yeah. Don't let Coach Altman hear that.
Are you? hey, I've seen it though. You've got handles. Hey, we showed this last year. I know one of your favorite moments is the dunk against Arizona. You showed handles there.
Yeah. So that's when I was like, yeah, I think I can do this. Yeah.
So at what point then did you be like, no, but I'm going to be a big man. Like I'm going to play around the basket. Like how did you develop in your career when you were younger?
One of my best friends, the dude that helped me get selected in camp, he used to play the post. So, like, every time after practice, just like, oh, yeah, let's play one-on-one. So he don't want to do, like, wings, nothing. It's just post. Sure, post. I was like, I'm sick of it, but and at that moment, I was kind of lazy. So I was like, that's really easy. All you got to do is just stay under the basket and just score. So it was easy to learn from him.
Right, and he was good. You were, that is, to score around the basket. Yeah. Tell fans the story, Dante, of going through the camp process and then being evaluated, deciding to come to college. Just take us through it for fans that aren't aware of that story.
Well, My friend Kanadja, he was the one who invited the camp, so I was not. So he, like, the date of a camp, he literally wake up like 5 a.m. to walk like an hour to go to my house and knock the door. And then my mom was like, "What's going on?" And then he was like, "I just want to see Dante." My mom was like, "Asleep." And then she woke me up, and then I was like, "What do you want, bro?" Because I was kind of like hard-headed to him. So he was like, "Can you come to the camp?" I was like, "No, bro, I'm not going." And he was like, "Well, what if I give you money and you take like taxis and come meet me there?" I was like, "Bro, I'm not. It's just give me the money." I was like, "All right, crap. I just have to go now." And then I went in the morning time. Like morning time, I didn't get selected. I was like, "Bro, I'm done with this." And I went back home, come back like at 4 p.m. The dude on the camp is named Tijan. He's the one who helped me came to US. So he was like, "Do you play basketball?" I was like, "Yeah," because at that age I was really hard headed.
How old were you? How old were you at that point?
I was about like 12.
12, so
yes.
the same age. Okay.
Yeah. So he was like, "Can you dunk?" I was like, "Yeah, I can dunk." And I dunk. I was like, "I'm the best player in this camp." He was like, "You crazy?" And then he told me to come the next day with my dad. I was like, "No, my dad passed away." And then he told me to come with one of my family members. And I go with my brother, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna help him in 2 years because I can bring at this age." But yeah, that's how I got picked to come to US. But my friend that was helping me go to camp didn't get picked. So it's my best friend, man.
Yeah. But it's amazing though to think back. I imagine you've thought about this. You think back on the people that helped you, and sometimes the chance happenings that leads to where you are now. So after you come to the U.S., it takes a few years before you come to Oregon. What were you doing during that time?
Ooh, I was playing in high school.
Yeah.
In Alabama, I played there for 7 months, and then I transferred to go to San Recreation Academy in Kansas. Ooh, that was a long journey for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Just summarize if you could. What was it about that kind of made you who you are today?
Well, I was in a prep school, so like it's all about basketball school. So like we have basketball from September to April.
A lot of basketball.
Yeah. So right after that, not even 1 week off, you gotta go to AU.
Right.
That practice was, oh God, I don't miss that. I do not. But yeah, all year long, all I was doing is playing basketball. No vacation, nothing. Yeah. I mean, I don't need vacation, but no free time at all.
And then you get recruited.
Oh yeah, by Oregon.
Yeah.
In a lot of different school.
Right.
Yeah.
But so why choose Oregon? I mean, I know you've told this story a couple times, but remind us, why'd you choose Oregon? What was it about this place?
Well, I think it was my junior year or something. I don't remember exactly, but it was one of the AU game. I got hurt, and a lot of coaches sitting there. They was like, "What's wrong with him?" Everybody think I have an injury issue or something. So, and that moment, everybody back off of me, like recruiting me. And then Coach Mike is the only one, like literally flew to see me every time. "Hey, big fellow, I love you, man. You're my guy." All those kind of things. But I trust him, so it make my decision easier to come to Oregon because he cared for me, even though I'm not playing right now. So
now we talk about injuries. I mean, you have gone through a few. What advice do you give now to people that go through an injury? Because you've gone through adversity. There's no doubt. What advice do you give to somebody that's going through an injury like you have done?
Just don't give up. If you give up, you're not gonna get your chance. So just put my head down and just whatever it is, I'm gonna do it and to get back on my feet.
Yeah. Now, your time at Oregon, I told you I was going to ask you this. Do you have some favorite games, some favorite moments so far in your career?
Oh, I got a couple.
Yeah.
First one is definitely Arizona at home.
Yep.
And the second one probably Utah. No, Oregon State. Thanks God. Oh, I forgot. I hate Beavers. I'm sorry. There's no other way to say it. I just hate them.
You embrace the rivalry, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You embrace the rivalry. So going back a little bit, too, and talking a bit about your mom, I wanted to give you a chance to do that on this show, Dante. You're doing something pretty special for her. Tell fans about that.
Yeah. The NIL that I'm making is just building a house for her, because I remember when I was young, she always wanted, me to do the things that I like playing ball or I don't even know how to explain it.
She loved you.
Yeah. So I think the reason I decided to do that because I think she deserved it because when we was younger, she's the only one. Our dad passed away when I was really young, so she was with our dad and mom at the same time. So think she deserves something better, you know. So I decided to do that. That's something I can really do right now.
And when's it all going to come to fruition? Like, when are you going to be able to give it to her?
Oh, it's going right now, so I think it's going to take at least a couple more, probably like a year, because it's 3 different levels.
Right.
So it's going to be a really big house.
Yeah, that's awesome, though. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, think about that. Building a house for your mom. Like, Dante, good job, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's awesome. So I wanted to ask you, too, about, you talk about family, how important that is to you. Is that why you're such a team player? Like, I see you out there, Dante. You're such a team leader. You're such a team guy. Is that where it comes from, is your mom?
Yeah, always. You know, I remember when I was hurt, you know, like before the beginning of the season, I was hurt, and I have a teammate always texting me, "Hey Dante, how you doing?" You know, those are the things that make me do anything for them. You know, so I'm just glad to have a family. You know.
Yeah. Finally, and we could talk to you for hours.
Yeah.
I know that. What's next for you? You're going to go play for 20 years, be super successful? I don't know. What's next for you after you're done here at Oregon?
Shoot, I'm not thinking about that right now. I just want to go. I just want to play the March Madness, which is something I want to do for a long time. You know, the first time my freshman year didn't happen. Sophomore year, I was hurt. Right. So last couple of years we could. So we still have a couple more games to go. So I'm just focusing on that, and then after that, we're gonna see what happens.
Here's to a long, long run. Dante, thanks for being a Duck.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thanks for being a Duck. N'Faly Dante, folks. Quick timeout. When we come back, back to the women's side on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Wherever you are in life, once a duck, always a duck. And that's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has helped the University of Oregon community take flight financially with great rates, lower fees, nationwide ATM access, and mobile banking. Earn more interest with remarkable checking, and show your duck devotion with a Duck debit card. If you're a Duck, you belong at OCCU. Go Ducks. Join OCCU. Learn more at myoccu.org/getduckdebit. Insured by NCUA.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Oregon Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FUBOTV.com.
You're listening to Duck Basketball on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Back on Tip-Off Tuesday, presented by Toyota. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Earlier today in Las Vegas, Chris Clayton sat down with Peyton Scott. Kelly Graves talking about it. She's coming back next year, and the Ducks sure missed that veteran competitiveness this season, but she talked a lot about, well, a number of topics. Chris Clayton talking with Peyton Scott.
Okay, so I don't want to start this on a low note, on a bummer, but let's go back to the opener. 5 minutes into the season, you scored a bucket, you got a steal, and then you went down with an injury. What was going through your head in that moment?
Well, before that, I was super excited. Just excited to play at Oregon, be on the court, and just finally get to see, all our summer time spent together and all that come together. So I was excited to kick off the season. And like you said, it started off pretty good. And then, like I said, I've told people, got my 5 minutes of fame. And then, God had different plans. But I think immediately I kind of knew just from doing one before. And so I was pretty devastated from that. But, after a little while, I told my people, got the final results and, just realized that God had a different plan for me and I was okay too.
Yeah, unfortunately, you had a similar ACL injury at Miami of Ohio when you were there. Do you think that experience helped you be able to cope with this one better?
Yeah, of course. I think, anything in life, once you do it one time, you kind of know what to expect. For me, it's a different environment and doing it with a lot different settings. But at the end of the day, it's still kind of the same process mentally and physically. And so I think that first one has definitely helped me kind of bounce back a lot quicker and get to a more stable mindset with it all.
Coach Graves and everyone has praised your approach to all this, and you've kind of still been really active and hands-on with the team even while injured. Where does that come from? What drives you still to be really involved in this team and not just on the in the background?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just kind of who I am. Like, I think you talk about born leaders or not, I think I was born to be vocal, I was born to lead, and I was born to not be someone that just sits in the background as much as, I may have wanted to. But at the end of the day, I still came here to be a great teammate, and I still came here to be a part of this team and to contribute. And just because I'm not on the floor doesn't mean that I can't personally contribute. So I think, again, it's not my plan. And so if this was the plan coming here and I get another year, then, I'm not mad about that. And so I think just being able to be vocal and bring perspective to this team has been something that I've been able to do being a young team. And so I think that drive is just, still wanting us collectively to be the best. Like, I played a team sport because I want to contribute in multiple ways. And so, yeah, I think that's where it comes from.
I think anybody listening to this can tell that you've got coaching in you. Coach Graves said that you would like to be a coach one day, and you're already kind of a coach right now just with your approach to the game and life. Is that something that is a big goal and hope for you?
Yeah, I would love to coach, and I think over my years of experience, it's just something that's kind of come naturally to me, that I can just see the game and help my teammates better understand it, or even if it's like in trainings or in practice, whatever it may be. Like, it brings me joy to help people kind of see them grow and see them understand things and get better and help them see their potential. And so for me, I think it's something that, again, is natural inside of me and that, like, I really want to tap into one day.
Well, coaching's for down the line, but right now you're a heck of a player, and you're going to be coming back next year. That's the hope, at least if you get the medical hardship. What went into the decision to want to come back?
I think it was pretty immediate. Again, I don't know. It's just something inside of me that never wants to regret anything or leave anything on the table and, go down the road and be like, I wish I would have. Like, I have another year, and I talk to my people all the time and say, it happened in the first 5 minutes of the first game where it was the only possibility that I could have had another year. And so, again, I go back to God's plan the whole time. I fully believe that he wanted me to be here another year, and he wanted my college career to end on a positive note and on an impactful note, and it just gives me another year to build relationships, to network, and to experience different opportunities. And I think Oregon's a great place to do that, and I came here for a reason, and it was to play, and it was to give to this community and, put Oregon women's basketball back where it should be.
You had a heck of a career at Miami of Ohio. I'm sure you had a lot of suitors and teams that wanted you. Why'd you choose Oregon?
Honestly, it was my first visit that I came on, and as a fifth year and someone that's been through it, I've played at the mid-major level, I wanted something more, and I thought that I was capable of something more, so I wanted that challenge. But also, when I came on a visit, I really enjoyed the vibes of the staff and just how family oriented it was, how easy they were to talk to and just be around. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed someone that was easy to welcome me and my family, especially being all the way across the country. But, I just wanted a different challenge, and I felt Oregon was the best fit for me at the time.
So you also grew up in Ohio, in addition to playing at Miami of Ohio, and the Ducks are joining the Big Ten. So next year that'll be hopefully the Scott family will show up to a lot of games.
Yes. So my family's big on traveling and coming to all the games, and so I'm excited for them to be able to come out and support and be back in my roots and just be in the conference where, I have a lot of connections and I know the people and I know the coaches, and I'm excited to play in a blue-collar league that just gets after it.
Yeah, there's a lot of ties to Ohio on this team with Chance Grangery's fans saluting too. For you as a player, how would you describe your game? People got to see you for 5 minutes, but not a lot. How would you describe your game, and what do you hope to accomplish next year?
Yeah, so I would describe me as a competitor, but also someone that's going to fill the stat sheet and impact the game in a lot of different ways. So I'm a small guard, but I love to rebound the ball. I would like to be a playmaker and just get my teammates in spots and make sure that they're getting their rhythm going. And, of course, I like to score. Everyone loves to score the ball. And so just a three-level scorer that just likes to create and make things happen. And then on, the defensive side, just bringing toughness, getting on the floor, getting those loose balls, and just giving my team energy.
It seems like a lot of great point guards have not a lot, I should say. Some have a soccer background. So you are a heck of a soccer player. Tell me about your soccer career.
Yeah, so I played soccer as long as I played basketball. When I was growing up, all throughout middle school and high school, and came from a big soccer family. Had a lot of success in high school. We went to the Final Four my sophomore year, won all our league titles, district championships, and just had a pretty good soccer career throughout my high school time.
Well, you told me before this interview they retired your jersey number, so I'll say it for you. And it was almost like retiring the entire Scott family, right? Your siblings are really good players too.
Yeah. So my older sister kind of led the way throughout our soccer journey, and my older brother played as well. And like I told Chris, they all kind of wore the number 9, and I was a number 24 in my personal realm. But when I started playing soccer and number 9 was available, I wanted to wear that number just to kind of honor my older siblings and the records that they've made, and that they gave me the opportunity to break down the road. But yes, I do have a basketball jersey retired that's number 24, and then I like to say the number 9 jersey for Scott is for all of us.
Glad you chose Oregon. Glad you're coming back. Looking forward to next year already. Thanks.
Yeah, excited to be here. Thanks, Chris.
Great stuff with Peyton Scott, talking with Chris Clayton, N'Faly Dante, Dana Altman, Kelly Graves. Tip-off Tuesday this week. Our last one, women's basketball, noon start time on Wednesday in the Pac-12 Tournament. Men's basketball at home. It's senior weekend. Thanks for joining us all season long. Go Ducks.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive